Hello and welcome to the first video that I've deliberately uploaded to this channel, because up until yesterday this was my personal YouTube account, the place I would go to watch YouTube rather than upload content. If you're viewing this at the beginning of June, the chances are you're viewing it on Facebook, or you're one of the 35 of my 14,000 YouTube subscribers who found the link to this backup channel. If you're watching it later in July, there's a good chance you just watched a video on the original Disgruntled Danny channel explaining that this is where I'm uploading content. Although that video for me is something I'll be recording about 2 weeks into the future. Confusing, isn't it? The reason that I'm uploading here is that the main channel has been hit with a community strike, meaning I can't upload anything for a fortnight, and it's becoming increasingly clear that the woke far left and YouTube as an organisation are openly gunning for anyone not spreading the message. And when I say not spreading the message, I mean telling the truth. So I'm uploading to this channel because it won't be on YouTube's radar yet. And if it does get to the point where YouTube is looking at it, I can switch back to the original channel. Basically, I'm going to be juggling. Also, I feel quite nostalgic knowing I'm recording this video with a good chance that no sod's going to watch it, like in the early days. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's get to the video. At the weekend, which depending when you're watching was either 2 days ago or 2 weeks ago, or who knows, you might be watching this in the future, long after I'm dead. Anyway, Mrs. Disgruntled and I went to the cinema to watch The Crow because somehow that movie is 30 years old. But it's holding up pretty well apart from some of the special effects. And of course that movie is an absolute cult classic. Part of the reason that the movie achieved such iconic status is that tragically its star, Brandon Lee, was killed during filming. If you don't know the story, a revolver was being used as a prop, loaded with dummy bullets. These were bullets where the powder charge had been removed, so that when it's held up to the camera, we the audience can see that the gun was loaded. And even though the powder had been removed, the percussion caps were still on, so when the trigger was pulled, one bullet had enough energy to move into the barrel, meaning that when the gun was then reloaded with blank charges, as it was pointed at Brandon Lee and the trigger was pulled, it went off like a normal revolver, striking Lee in the abdomen, and he died in hospital a few hours later. This led to massive speculation by conspiracy theorists because Brandon Lee, like his father Bruce, had died at a tragically young age. I promise the video gets more fun from here on in. But if I look at the movie, which I love, without the rose-tinted nostalgia glasses, in places it is showing its age. The dialogue is very 1990s. Also, the lead character's name is Eric Draven. Can you imagine, in 2024, making a movie where the hero is called Eric? And also, the way the character looks. If I'm honest, he looks like the lead singer in an unsigned black metal band who's got his outfit by raiding his sister's wardrobe. But as I sat in the cinema before the movie started, I looked around at the audience. And for the most part, they were people in their 40s and 50s, either dressed as goths or metalheads, and I found myself thinking, you sad old bastards. You're acting like it's still the 1990s. Have you not moved on? And then I looked at what I was wearing and thought, oh shit, I'm one of them. When I was a teenager, I decided that jeans or cargo trousers paired with a t-shirt, that was good enough for me. That was my look, and I've stuck with it for the past 3 decades. And the point is, I've done that because I don't understand fashion at all. And I suspect many of the people watching The Crow are in the same boat. For example, the fashion house Balenciaga have just launched these trainers which cost $1,000. I've bought cars for less than that. They weren't very good cars, but they functioned as they should do, which is something these trainers don't. And let's be clear, I could go to Primani, or Primark if you're watching from outside the UK, if anyone is watching, and for a £5 I could buy a plain white t-shirt. and for no extra cost, I could take a permanent marker and emblazon on it, "Look at me, I'm a tosser," which would garner the same effect. Because those trainers have no practical use. You couldn't drive in them. Also, these are trainers in which it's impossible to run. Doesn't that defeat the object? That is a perfect example of having more money than sense, and I'm sure in high society, the beautiful people would approve of such footwear. But if you walked into a fish and chip shop on a Friday night wearing those, the reaction would be, "Oi, look at this prick. What's he done? Has he mugged a clown? Oi, chief, you're wearing the wrong feet." Of course, fashion and appearance in general are subjective. What one person may find attractive or fashionable, another person may find ugly or even repulsive. Now, something I find strange is I haven't been clean-shaven for 17 years. But for the past few years, it's been fashionable to have a beard.
I have a beard because my body was born with the ability to grow a beard and I don't shave it.
She has the ability to grow a beard, but she doesn't shave it. Can you imagine the state of her nether regions? I bet if she fancies a shag, her boyfriend has to run out and get a hedge trimmer. She'll have legs you can strike a match on. I don't want to speculate on the lady's relationship status, but I'll say this. Any man she's been out with, those are men who are not yet willing to admit that they're gay. Happy Pride Month, everyone. Something else I find shocking about fashion is that in what I assume is a desperate attempt to remain relevant, although she was recently mocked on South Park, the rotund singer Lizzo claims she wants to be a supermodel. I can only assume that she's teamed up with Halfords and she's modelling car covers. And I'm sure Lizzo's dresses are extremely expensive just for the sheer amount of fabric needed to make them. Also, most garments are sewn together with cotton, not steel wire. I could take one of Lizzo's dresses, sew up the holes for the head and the arms, and use it as a sodding parachute. So if we're living in a world where a woman who's wider than she is tall says she can be a supermodel, and it's fashionable to wear shoes that make it look like you've contracted elephantitis, well, I'll try not to judge. That's a total lie. I'm a judgmental old sod. So let's see someone packing for their holiday or vacation if you're from the New World.
So as I prepare for the girl vacation, I have the formal wear picked out. I think I have the shoes. I think I have the casual wear picked out. There are a few other things, jewelry, something to sleep in, and of course we are staying in a Vrbo with our own pool, so gotta have a cute little polka dot bikini to go along for the ride as well. So as I'm putting together my packing list of things, I keep checking new things off the box, and I'm looking forward to the trip we have coming up.
Okay, so he's not harming anyone. And I tried desperately not to laugh at the front of the dress hanging down. But of course, he doesn't have female anatomy. He's missing the fun bags. And as for the bikini, well, first of all, he doesn't need the top half, as has just been explained. And secondly, for anyone buying swimwear or beachwear, please buy clothing for the body that you have, not the body that you want. However, the bikini bottoms, that's troubling because, of course, women's swimwear can be narrower at the front because they have less to cover up. That being said, I've been on holiday in Spain and seen German women who think it's acceptable for them to lay on the beach with a piece of dental floss, provided it covers their clitoris and their arsehole. But that chap there, wearing those bottoms, surely his bollocks are going to hang out of the sides. Not only is that indecent exposure, it's also just not a good look, darling. But what do I know? I'm just Captain T-shirt, wandering around aimlessly, yearning for the 1990s, when I was thin and still had hair. That's the end of this video. If anyone watched it, thank you so much. And if possible, could you share the hell out of it? What I'm hoping to do is get everyone from the original channel subscribed to this one as quickly as possible. And with that, as ever, thanks for watching. Hello and welcome to the first video I've deliberately uploaded to this channel. Although in the business as usual. The reason that I've fucked it up already, 4 seconds in, I've just realised that given that I'm wearing all green and I'm out in the countryside, as well as having the beard and the dog tags, I look like one of those survivalists you see on American documentaries. I just need a strong American accent and an aversion to people of colour. Because Brandon, like his father Bruce Lee, had died at a young age into spilling fucking bollocks to it. Bikini bottoms, though, they are rather problematic because ladies, obviously, they can have narrower swimwear at the front because they have less going on down there. So, fuck it. I'm just Captain T-shirt, aimlessly wandering around this nature reserve, yearning for the 1990s. Fuck it.